Hello and welcome to Blues View. I'm Paul Bradley and I'm joined on the phone now by Birmingham City correspondent Colin Tatham. Hi, Colin.
Hi, hello.
Well, you're at the game against Sheffield Wednesday. That's a 3-0 victory. What was your verdict on that game? And I suppose more importantly, can Birmingham City make it to Wembley twice in one season?
Yeah, the game itself, it was pretty much routine, as routine can be for Blues. Sheffield were League One opposition and they're struggling, and it showed. And Blues just had too much quality. They were too clinical for them and too clever. In regards to going for Wembley on two fronts, it's a tall order, but it is entirely possible. They've had been given a decent quarter-final draw at home to Bolton Wanderers. It could have been worse. And ultimately, if they're at St Andrews, they're a tough nut to crack, as we've always said. So. They've proven before that, already that they've got through to a major final. So why not? Why can't they do it again? I think the belief is there in the camp. It's just a question whether there'll be enough bodies to see them through if it does get that far.
Now, we'll touch on the competition for places for the Carling Cup final in a moment. But first of all, two cup runs at the moment now for Birmingham City. Is there a danger here that it's going to distract away from their Premier League performances and they may end up in trouble in, say, a month's time when maybe there's some tough fixtures coming up?
Yeah, it could well be. I think that is a concern for all the management and everybody else. Conversely, the victory over West Ham galvanised them for a couple of weeks, and they got a couple of big results, but then sort of went a bit flat against Newcastle United. Success breeds success, they say, but there is the flip side to that. And I think with Blues squad, and they've shown that a few of them have been a bit leggy, and there's been a few niggly injuries picked up. They've got to be very careful. But ultimately, I suppose you'd rather be in the hunt for everything. And really, let's face it, if they do go down, they've only themselves to blame, regardless of the extra distractions of the two cup competitions.
So I suppose McLeish now is going to be looking at his squad and seeing how he can juggle things around to keep as many players as fresh as possible.
Yeah, I think that will probably come into play more so after the Carling Cup final is out of the way. I think he's going to have to rotate more, and he's going to have to use his subs, for longer in the game as well. Because, you can't keep asking the same players to play effectively a couple of games a week now to the end of the season at that intensity and with the pressure that the Premier League entails. So it's going to be quite a juggling act for him. And of course, if anybody else goes down with a major injury or two, it doesn't help matters.
Now, Alexander Arnold was injured in the game the weekend. What's the latest on him? Is there any signs of maybe some recovery so he's available for the cup final?
I think when the swelling has gone down, they'll get him scanned, which is all being well Monday. Then they'll assess. But at the moment, it looks like he's going to be out. We don't know for definite. And after the game, he was certainly too upset to talk, and he was in a bad way, hobbling away from St Andrews. I felt it was a very bad tackle, possibly deserving a red card, because the ball had gone, and James O'Connor sort of snapped right into Leb's legs, and it could easily be a bone breakage. And we've seen in the past that Blues players have been highly criticised for certain tackles like that. And I just think because it was a relatively low key game, Birmingham were in charge. Nothing really was made of it, and it will be a shame if Fleb isn't available. Although he probably was never going to start the final, a player of his quality as an option off the bench would definitely be a major plus to Blues.
Okay, and turning to people who've still got to stake their claim for a place and maybe still have a little bit of work to do, who do you think that would be, and who's probably a definite already got their name penciled in on that team sheet?
I think Alex McLeish probably knows more or less that 7 or 8 of his likely starting lineup for Wembley. And you look on the Sheffield Wednesday game, somebody like Lee Bowyer got another run, and I think he'll be involved in some way. So I think he was just resting him and giving him a little run out a week beforehand to get his legs back up to speed. And the front places, Obafemi Martins has started all the games he's been available for. And I think that is definitely with a view to playing at Wembley. And Cameron Jerome has been taken out of the far-in line a little bit just to try to recover some sharpness that he's lost. So I think the intriguing one is the selection up front. I think the midfield could probably pick itself almost. It'll be probably similar to the West Ham semi-final second leg, I believe. So it's going to be fascinating, and Alex McLeish has been saying this week that, someone's going to have to miss out. It's going to be tough, but, it's the way it is. That's football, and he's quite happy to make those hard and tricky decisions.
Okay, well, we'll have more from the Blues camp later on in the week when we present Blues View from our studio with the Carling Cup when it comes into the Birmingham Mail offices. Colin, thanks very much for that today.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be back on Thursday, like I say, with the Carling Cup in the studio. Bye for now.